Welcome to I Remember When, sponsored by the Gresham Historical Society. I'm Gwenda McCall. On our show tonight, you're going to meet several guests. On the last part of the show, our guest will be Don Warman, president of the Gresham Historical Society, and he's going to give us an update on some of the projects that they're working on. And on the beginning of the show, you're going to meet two members from the Rockwood Grange. I had no idea before I started visiting with these fellas that Granges had so much history and so much relevance for today. So I'd like you to meet Roy Burright and Bill Ashcroft. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Gwenda.
Now, I have driven by the Rockwood Grange many times, right on Stark Street, on about 183rd and Stark, and it's this little old white building between a car lot and a Dairy Queen. But I didn't realize that it was a Grange and had so much history. We have a photograph here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this photograph. This was taken in this was taken in
1905.
1905 when it was first built, And now this building isn't standing now, though.
No, this building burned in 1933.
Oh.
And behind the building here, you can see stables. This is now Stark Street.
Oh, and it was some kind of berry fields there.
That's right.
And now, when was the one that's there? When was that rebuilt?
The basement was, of course, started or built in 1933, or they redid it. And then the building, the upper part, was lifted in 1957.
Oh. Now, the new one doesn't have this nice cupola steeple thing up here.
No, it doesn't.
They left that off. When you took me in it, it just felt like it had so much tradition behind it. And I loved looking at the spot on the wall that they have patched up now where they had the little old pot-bellied stove. And I could just picture events going on, families around the pot-bellied stove.
Yes.
Now, what kind of things did they have going on in the 40s? Now,
in the 40s, oh gee whiz, they had name bands appearing. Jimmy Wakely, Ernest Tubb, to name a couple. The Grange was really a community center. And many people from the area would attend the Grange, potlucks, Grange meetings.
Oh, fun. Now, were we still mostly farmland in the 40s?
Yes. Yes, it's
so
true.
We weren't nearly as full of businesses and stores then. It was really was farmland. All right, let's go back to the history. This is the part that I found so fascinating. The history. Roy, why don't you tell us about how they got started just after the Civil War with this Grange idea?
Well, in 1867, the birthday of the Grange is December 4th. And in 1867, a man by the name of Kelly started, it was in his mind that the farmer needed something to pull them together. They needed education and organization. And so with Seymour and McDowell, who was a farmer but had been a banker and became the first treasurer, slowly the 7 men, 4 Masons and 2 Oddfellows, formed the Grange as a social, economic, and political organization to help the farmer, because we were in an industrial revolution. The government was turning toward industry.
And I suppose the plight of the farmer was pretty bad after the Civil War. Let's go ahead and take a look at the picture of the 7 founders, and then we'll focus in on the center fellow, which was Mr. Kelly, who really started this as a one-man show, practically. He did most of the work himself. Now, tell me a little bit about the Populist Party. How does that relevant to the Grange?
Well, the Populist Party was the largest third party in our history, and it came about as the Agrarian Revolt, which the Grange had a lot to do with. Because the farmer was going under at the expense of business, they wanted, for instance, to end sectionalism. No northeast, southwest, nothing. And in order to do that, they had a platform. And as all third parties do, as soon as the major parties, the Democrat and the Republican Party, incorporated their platform, then it died. And so the Grange had a lot to do with that, because Populist had an agrarian base.
Why did they pick the name, do you know, the Order of Patrons of Husbandry?
Well, patrons would mean those who practice.
Uh-huh.
Husbandry is an ancient word meaning farmer itself.
Oh, and the word grange?
It comes from England.
Oh, so the order is the big whole, and then the granges are the little ones that were all over. Okay. Right. I've heard that this is a unique organization because of their liberal feelings about women. Let's go ahead and look at a picture that you brought of an old-time Grange meeting. And you want to tell me a little bit more about this picture and about their feelings about women?
Yes, women have had equal rights with men from the very inception of the Grange. And it was largely due to Miss Caroline Hall, which she was secretary, I believe, to the National Master, first National Master. As that picture shows, the picture really shows the format of a Grange meeting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And can women hold offices in this organization?
Women can hold every office. There are 4 offices that men cannot hold. One would be the lady assistant steward.
Yeah, all right.
Right, and the other 3 are we call them Gracies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, I really did enjoy reading this book, and I should have taken the cover off so I could show the book. I thank you for loaning it to me. I learned a lot about Granges. But the fellow who wrote it was very sympathetic about the plight of farm women. Mm-hmm. And he gave examples of how these women would go sometime for months on end without hearing another female voice. And he did mention that a lot of farm women ended up in the insane asylum because they just couldn't handle the isolation and hard work.
Oh, sure. Isolated with 60, 70, 80 miles back from any town or civilization.
Oh, no thanks. No thanks. And then you have the Junior Grange, too. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that.
We're quite proud of the Lents Junior Grange here in Multnomah County because it's the largest in the nation.
In the nation?
In the nation, right.
How many members do you have?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
and
know.
What's their ages?
Okay, they start at 5. Mm-hmm. They can become a Junior Granger. And until 14, mm-hmm. 13 and a half, really. At that time, they qualified to become a Granger.
Oh, at 14? Seems so young. Quite an honor.
There's a reason for that. Usually, young people became tired of farming mm-hmm. by the time they were old enough to do it. So they thought get them involved and teach them that farming is necessary. It's an important job. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Before they leave for the city, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Find how the other half lives or something. Make them feel more important. That really does. Oh. I was reading in this book that there was a Grange lady in Michigan who had a club called the 4-Leaf Clover Club, and the idea spread, and it became today's 4-H'ers.
4-H'ers, that's
yes,
right.
The things that we deal with every day that were started by Grange people I found really fascinating. All right, tell us a little bit about the secrecy. You do have secrecy in this organization.
Yes, as you know, the Grange was started by 2 Oddfellows and 5 Masons. And of course, Kelly felt that any organization to be successful should have education and organization. And one way to do that was to have simply some signs and some words that every Granger or member of the organization would know. Mm-hmm. And that seemed to work very well.
Mm-hmm. Gave them kind of a camaraderie.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose that maybe with the carpetbaggers sneaking in to see how things were going, maybe it did exclude some spies.
It does keep those things to a minimum. Mm-hmm. This was with the Masons, which were on both sides of the line, you see. You couldn't sneak into the meetings that way. Mm-hmm. Blue and Gray joined the Grange too, both sides.
That is so relevant. I mean, the Mason-Dixon line disappeared as far as these fellows were mm-hmm. concerned, and they were ready to pull the country back together and bury their differences. That's mm-hmm. wonderful.
It gave the farmer, the small farmer, the confidence that they needed to go ahead mm-hmm. and produce, because mm-hmm. the country was really in a crisis. because of food and fibers. Within 2 years, it was estimated that there would be none. That's right. We were really at the point of starvation.
So Kelly did more than start a club. He might have saved the country.
Yes. He said that the reason the farmer was in trouble was their own fault. They had let businessmen take care of the marketing and the transportation, and that the farmer should be doing that.
And it was also credited to the Masons that he was able to continue his tour through the South, survey, if you will, through the South, because it was a hostile. It was a hostile.
Sure, he was
section
a
of the
Yankee,
country.
and
That's
he
right.
was in the South, and he didn't have that drawl, so they knew
That's right.
immediately.
That's right.
But because he was a Mason, he had doors open to him
Yes.
because of the
Right.
brotherhood. Oh, that's great. Now, what about the flag and Bible? You mentioned that to me earlier.
There's 2 requirements. Before you can open a Grange, you must have the flag displayed and also the Bible opened.
Okay. Well, that shows that if there's any secrecy going on, at least it's something God knows about, right?
That's right.
Now, in the I almost said 1970s. In the 1870s, the Grange really took off. All of his work really started to pay off. And I read that in 1874, 11,941 new Granges were started in 1 year. That's really impressive. And then it got to the point where everybody wanted to be a Granger. So I would like to read this little paragraph out of here. It just cracked me up. Everybody wanted to join the Grange in the 1870s. Lawyers to get clients, doctors to get patients, merchants to get customers, Shylocks to get their pound of flesh, and sharpers to catch the babes from the woods. Sense of humor here. One Grange was organized on Broadway, New York, with a membership of 45, representing a capital of many millions of dollars, and composed of bank presidents, wholesale dealers, sewing machine manufacturers, and Wall Street speculators. The only member who could lay the least claim to having an interest in agriculture being a merchant who owned a house and a lot in the White Mountains where he usually spent the summer. So being a Granger was quite the thing to do.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought that was really funny. Can you tell me some of the early achievements of the Granges?
Yes, the Department of Agriculture was elevated to cabinet level.
Oh,
as
that
a
would have
result
some
of
more
the
influence,
work of
wouldn't
the Grange.
it?
And there was an agricultural college and insurance for fire, tornado, windstorm, hail. And then in 1906, the Grange supported the Pure Drug and Food Act.
Oh, which
Yes.
we're still using today.
Yeah, sure, right, And then, of course, there was the World War II war gardens.
War gardens?
War gardens.
Do you mean Victory Gardens?
Victory Gardens,
Oh,
if
I've heard
you will.
about Victory
Sure,
Gardens. Why don't you explain to our audience, maybe there's a few people younger than me that don't remember Victory Gardens, what a Victory Garden was.
Okay. Well, you want to tell them?
Victory Gardens were where women, some men, would grow vegetables and become somewhat self-sufficient. We had rationing at the time.
During World War II, sure.
And so this was an effort to help feed ourselves rather than depend on the farmer who was growing food to send
to the soldiers.
send to the soldiers. Right.
So the Grange started that idea, for heaven's sake. And then what about the railroads? I heard they were coming in and they
Well,
were very popular.
They were very popular. They and the new public, what we call them, utilities at the time, and they were not. They didn't care about their constituents. It was the almighty dollar again. So the Grange forced legislation, which made the railroads and the power and all that, those companies, treat the customer the way they should be, that they exist for the people they serve, not the other way around.
And I also noticed that they started a few things which weren't quite as earth-shaking, but a little gal in California suggested they have state flowers, and so her Grange level worked up to the state Grange level and the national Grange level, and now we have state flowers. And a little tiny gal suggested rural mail delivery. And from one little gal making a suggestion on a Grange floor, it got voted into higher legislation and carried through.
Would you believe the 911 idea was through the Grange also.
Is that right?
That's right.
I didn't know that. All right, well, let's get back to the Rockwood Grange now. Do you feel that a Grange, even though we're not a farming community so much anymore, still feels a need?
Oh, absolutely, because it's a family organization, and it's a place where husbands and wives and children can come together and enjoy their potlucks and just share in the general development of the community. Resolutions are passed at the subordinate Grange level, which would be like Rockwood. From there, they go to county, or we call it Pomona, either rejected or passed there, on to the state, and at state conventions. This is where the main body of the Grange will come together in the state.
State level. What kind of a legislative thing are you working on now?
Are we working on?
Yeah, do you have strong feelings about?
Yes, I think we do. Roy, what
One
about
was
you?
the public utilities, which Worston has, and we voted down. And another is the Bull Run watershed. They were going to log that. They said it would only be 5% a year. So we went in and did a survey, found out that within 20 years you wouldn't have any Bull Run because the logs held back the snow and causing the runoff. And
So that's one of the things that they're fighting. Oh, that's interesting. Can you name me some of the active committees in your Grange right now?
Yes, I have a legislative committee, agricultural committee. I have public relations. I have, we belong to the Merchants Association there at Rockwood.
Oh, in Rockwood,
and I have a committee there.
Were you in the parade?
Yes.
The Rockwood Parade?
Oh, yes. Right. And we have deaf committee. We take the Grange is known for the deaf activities, contribution to the deaf. And then we have miscellaneous committees as we would use them internally.
Well, and I know you do a lot of social things, and you have potlucks and bingo and the women's group, and you invite the public. How does a person become a member of your Grange? What would a person have to do?
Well, first, I guess probably the best approach would be to attend one of the open houses.
When are those?
We have open houses at least once a year, but every fourth Friday at Rockwood we have social night.
Oh.
And we have a live band, and there's no charge.
Oh, really?
No. And then we have games downstairs, and everyone just sets their own level of entertainment.
So
really.
you come and bring the kids, and the kids go play with the kids,
Sure,
and the grown-ups
absolutely.
can dance or play cards? Or
Right.
the last Friday of each month?
The fourth Friday.
Fourth Friday of each
Fourth
month?
Friday of each month. Potluck begins at 6:45, and the band usually comes in around 7:30.
Ooh, sounds like fun.
Yeah, we have another very important committee too, and that's the Women's Committee. We call it GWA, the Grange Women's Committee. And this committee does an awful lot of support work for the Grange.
Well, fellas, I have found this all so very interesting. Did you have something else you wanted to say, Roy? You had that look on your face that, no? Okay.
not particularly.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Bill and Roy, and good luck with your Grange.
It was our pleasure, Gwenda, and thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back right after this message and meet Don Warman, president of the Gresham Historical Society.
100 years ago, the original Morrison Bridge opened. The privately owned wooden toll bridge cost 20 cents for 2 horses and a driver, a dime if you were on horseback, and a nickel for each sheep and pig. 8 years later, the city of Portland bought the bridge and removed the tolls on Independence Day. Now, Multnomah County operates the bridge, and about 52,000 vehicles cross it every day. I'm Jerry Peck, Multnomah County Bridge Tender. Happy birthday, Morrison Bridge, from the folks at Multnomah County.
Now I'd like you to meet Don Warman, president of the Gresham Historical Society. Don, thank you for joining us this evening.
Well, I'm really happy to be here and join you.
I'm really anxious to tell our audience about the 3 major projects that the Historical Society is working on. So why don't you go ahead and start on them?
Well, I'd like to, as everyone, you know, you have some major things you're going to do along with many others, but there are 3 major construction projects or restoration projects that we have underway. And the first is the Linneman Junction Station. And there's a picture here of the station with the cars in it. Now, the Linneman Junction is down on Powell. And at this stage, right now, it's a rather moss-covered building that doesn't...
Kind of an army green.
Yes, an army green. It doesn't really look that great.
But this is it.
But
it's
this
hard
is
to
it.
vision it with all these cars and
This is
electric cars, right?
these are electric. This is the Oregon Electric Railway, and it was a very, very important part of the growing up of this part of the country.
It's on Powell and what?
About
100
180th or something like that. About 190th.
something.
80th, Powell and
On
190th.
the south side of the road. Kind
South
of like
side of the road.
Paisano's club there,
Right,
by there.
right near there. Well, anyway, this station here is designed was designed to serve the people on the electric railway, and our objective now is to restore that building, install it near the MAX station at City Hall.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And it will be used as a combination of a place for people to stop over, possibly a concessionaire, and also some artifacts and museum pieces would be shown there on a regular basis, so that people could understand the importance of the electric railway system to this part of Oregon. In fact, Oregon had a tremendous electric railway system at one time.
I heard that people from Portland went out to Oxbow. And
Oh, they did, and they had a great time. And I think we have a picture here that shows kind of the way that the cars lined up and loaded up with people that were on vacations.
picnicking out at
So
Oxbow.
anyway, this is our first one of our major projects.
Well, it's so relevant to put it right by Max because that's an electric car too. Same thing. Max is
That's
new.
right, and we think it's going to be a very good tourist attraction.
Great. All right.
Now, our second project is one that gets in the paper every once in a while, and it's the purchase of the current Gresham Public Library. Now, this library building is on the National Register of Historic Places already, and so it's got some national protection. It was partially funded by Carnegie, and it was built in 1913. Now, and the objective of this society is to purchase this building and create a museum for this area.
Now,
So
you just had a recent donation to that, didn't
we
you?
had a recent donation, and we're very, very happy for that. So we're gradually coming along with the monies to do this. But in spite of that, of course, we're going to have to raise money to finally get the whatever the purchase price is, and that's undecided. But the most exciting thing down the road is that there'll be a place for people to show off artifacts, show and store manuscripts and documents and pictures, and I think it's going to be a good cultural center for the whole area.
I
So
agree. It's such a charming building.
Well, it's a beautiful building, and if you just stop and take a note along the very tops of the windows around there are replicas of the ancient printers' marks from Europe. So there's a lot of history in this building already, and so we think it's one that's going to be really a treasure for Gresham for a long, long time.
You are going to have some restoration to do. I was pointing out to my children the other day that these little wooden pediments sticking up the top, that they're all chewed off looking. You're going to have to...
Well, we know that. We've had it looked over by an architect and structural engineer, and we've looked at it ourselves, and we know that there's work to be done, but it's a building that's worth saving.
Oh, it sure is.
And it's going to be an attractive part of Gresham for many, many years.
Boy, I agree.
Now, the third project is one that's dear to very, very many people's hearts.
Because they got married there, right?
They got married there, or they went there as a child to the little old church on Powell.
The little
and
First Baptist,
Baptist Church.
Church.
Now, this church was at one time built with the wood. It was ultimately covered with brick. The brick was taken off, and now the structure is on a foundation with the wood siding in the main city park.
Yeah, they did move it.
It was moved, and the folks built a new church on the original site. Now, our intent.
Well, let's show them your intent.
Okay.
I'll need a little help with this one. And let's sit it right on the chairs here and tip it back so we don't catch too much light.
Okay, our
Is that
intent,
good for light?
our intent is to complete the restoration of this building, both outside and in. And that includes completing the bell tower, the flagpole. We have a Constitution tree that's been dedicated we're going to plant here. And also along the right side, there will be a memorial wall. And we've had a lot of bricks sold already.
Oh, with the names in
with the
them.
names on it. And that wall should be going up in the foreseeable future here. I think we're close. We're very close to that. And that's what really excites me, is the fact that it's going to be something done. The interesting thing about the church is that first we had to take a lot of stuff out of the inside of it. The old plaster and lath and things like that. Because when you restore a church, even though you keep the outside, and even though you have a very good architect, and you want to be as it was in the old, you still have to meet all the codes. And so that means everything from heat to electricity to insulation, but we're going to still keep that decor in there. And one of the purposes will be that we hope to hold weddings in here. And I think it's going to be a delightful wedding church.
Kind of like the old Pioneer Church.
It will be.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
it
And there's
will
lots
be.
of parking in the park.
There's parking. There will be parking in front here. There's parking in the park. And
And then you can use the downstairs for
the downstairs could be used for all sorts of things. Either it could be a reception or it could be club meetings or whatever. And so we're really excited. But the one thing that in all this restoration work that people have to remember is it takes time. You have to be patient. You don't want to lose faith because the key that people tell us, the key to getting this job done right is to get the funds first. And then once you get all your volunteers and folks moving, that you crunch right through it and get it completed. And that's what we want to do.
Sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and put this down on your side here over there. Thank you. Do you have any other activities that you're doing now in the Historical Society on a regular basis?
On a regular basis, really, is we have a number of committees. And in order to get information for the museum, of course, you have to start working early. And so we have had people working on church committees to get the history of the pioneer churches together as much as possible. I think we've got the history of 40 of them now. And cemeteries. And we have a tremendous file of school information. And city government. And the Japanese American. It just goes on and on, the number of things that we have had people working on and gathering information.
It sounds like there's so much to be done. How does a member join the Historical Society?
Okay. To join the meeting, what you do is come to a meeting.
When are those?
The meetings are the second Monday of each month at the Good Samaritan Care Center.
Okay.
And all you do is come and say, I want to be a member, and pay your membership fee. It's $10 for a normal, $5 for a senior citizen, and you are then a member.
Okay, well that sounds pretty easy, Don, and we're going to run out of time, and I'm sorry we don't have more time, because I know you have a lot more information for us. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
And thank you for joining us on I Remember When. I'm Gwenda McCall. Good night.